Buonasera ragazzi, ben ritornati su Il Calice Nero con un'altra nuova puntata. Buonasera Margherita Anarca. Oggi vogliamo direttamente in Norvegia. Vogliamo in Norvegia con un gruppo dal black al death metal. Ma prima di dire tutto ciò, ricordiamo ai nostri telespettatori che siamo su tripla piattaforma YouTube, Facebook e Instagram. Salutiamo i nostri amici di Instagram che è Arogat, www.ilcalicenero.com, che ci potete seguire le dirette anche sul nostro sito, e punta in la Plus che ci saranno dalle 22:30 alle 23:30. Gruppo Black Hardcore Punk.
Bellissimo, bellissimo. Era, come avete potuto intuire, sono di nuovo qua nonostante le peripezie. Fa piacere ritornare sul Calice Nero. Come diceva il maestro, siamo anche attivi sul sito, recensioni. Ringraziamo Margherita Fotoreporter X per il live report. E niente, ci sono gli Aeternus, abbiamo Ares nella nostra anticamera pronto a rispondere alle nostre domande. Voglio innanzitutto ringraziare tutte le persone che si sono aggiunte al team del Calice Nero e dell'associazione. Siamo molto contenti, quindi senza indugiare diamo il benvenuto al nostro ospite. So guys, after this briefly presentation of our guest in Italian, as always, just a little reminder to the international viewer, www.ilcalicenero.com for the extra content, reviews, written interviews. We had an interview with Scott Fuller of Morbid Angel last week, as well other stuff. So check it out. And yeah, let's welcome Ares from Aeternus. Hello, Ares, and welcome to Il Calice Nero.
Hello Ares.
Grazie, thank you very much.
Prego. Grande.
It's a really nice pleasure to have you here. Both fan of the band since a long time, but the maestro is the one. The maestro wants you on this program as well. All the guys from our Telegram channel. So, guys, if you want to join and for extra stuff, right below we have all of the links and also the band links to follow the band and support the band buying physical music and merch. So without further ado, I will pass my word to the maestro here for his first question in Italian and then translate. Vai maestro con la prima domanda.
Ciao Buffa Valerio, è This and Melt su Instagram. Allora, la prima domanda, Ares, la parte anticristiana con la parte mistica, quanto gli Eternus riescono a creare una sorta di filosofia artistica musicale attraverso questi due concetti?
Okay, so the first question is about the themes and all the stuff that you guys took during the years, such as the mysticism and the anti-Christianity. So, since a lot of bands actually from the north of Europe have this kind of attitude and this kind of like themes in their concept, lyrics, whatever. So, what bring you in particular to adopt this? Someone for like a kind of mysticism stuff, other one for like a kind of battle against the Christianity for the message. But we want to hear your point of view and your influence in that way, since you guys are active for from 1993.
Yes, 93. Yeah.
So, 93. Okay,
You're asking about Eternus and where we stand in all this.
Yeah, what bring you guys to approach this kind of themes during your whole career and also your evolution?
Yeah. Well, as far as anti-Christianity or anything that has to do with any satanic ideology, Eternus has never been into any of that. Very early, we classified our music as dark metal, and that goes for music and lyrics and any atmosphere that you can conjure through any music, any emotion that you can call dark is very suited to how we wanted everything to be. Whether or not we have lyrics about something philosophic or mythology or something anti-religious, which is maybe more interesting to us, it would always fit our narrative where dark metal would be like in focus. It is something we chose very early on, and we have kept with that basically through all years up until today, up until the present day. And so that's what we're about, basically. Creating dark music and having lyrics that suits that music to our best ability. That's it.
Okay, got it. So before going with the next question, I just want to say if someone in the chat wants to make their own custom question to Ares, feel free to write down what you want to ask to him directly in the comments, both on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. The second part of the question before translating is from me, and it's about the your attitude towards like the dark heart in terms of composition. So is different your approach in creating lyrics and in creating music, or it's something that you work together? So let me explain better. When you approach the composition of this band, of this project in this dark way, you start from the music, you start from the lyrics, and why you choose lyrics or music to start with the composition. So the composition process in general, we want to ask.
For me, it's always been trying to music, any sort of music, whatever it is, if it's metal or jazz or blues or whatever, it's all about emotion. It's what you feel. It's emotions. And when you have emotions in extreme music and extreme metal, there's a lot of more aggressive type of emotions, or there's depression or hate, or more stronger dark emotions, which is by far looked upon from my point of view as negative, because it's not all destructive, but they can be, of course. So I don't need lyrics to make music or construct riffs or anything, but I have and I can use lyrics to be influenced or inspired or motivated, but it kind of depends. The past years, I've been more into just searching melodies and riffs on the guitar, and just how I feel. It just comes naturally. It's just one of those things as a composer. It's kind of hard to explain how it all works, but it's all about just working really slow, getting ideas, work on them, and just when it feels good, then you have something, and you just go for it, really.
Okay, really pretty interesting. This side is pretty interesting. So I'm sure that the guys from home can enjoy this kind of attitude towards your creation of art, let's say in this way. So after these two questions, translation time, and then we go forward with the next one. Ok, praticamente abbiamo parlato in queste prime battute della concezione di arte in risposta a quello del maestro. Lui dice che praticamente il tema dell'anticristianesimo non è più antireligioso, ma quanto antidivinità, antiteistico in qualche maniera, è l'aspetto un po' più oscuro. In questo senso lui non parla di sottogeneri particolari, ma parla proprio di metal oscuro, l'ha chiamato proprio dark metal, che secondo è la sua attitudine sia di atmosfere che di suoni, eccetera. Quindi lui parla proprio di questa cosa che ha sempre ricercato all'inizio, quando la band si è formata, e dalle prime sperimentazioni che hanno fatto a livello compositivo. Io poi gli ho chiesto, insomma, l'utilizzo delle liriche, della musica, come poteva approcciare in questo senso. Lui diceva che comunque la devastazione, la parte più oscura, viene espressa attraverso la musica, quindi la parte strumentale, mentre la parte di liriche, quella là più di messaggi, eccetera, a parte rafforzare questo messaggio, va appunto a creare delle melodie particolari, una cosa complementare, perché dice la parte più scura, l'arte più scura, giusto per citare anche quello che fai con Buon Gianluca, che salutiamo, il sentiero oscuro avviene attraverso i passi nella musica e va a rafforzarsi attraverso le liriche, perché creano una sorta di melodia, la possiamo anche personificare, un po' più aspra, un po' più agrodolce in questo senso, e quindi si accompagna bene alle tematiche e al sound degli Aeternus. E poi ho detto tra le due domande semplicemente, come sempre ragazzi, se volete fare la vostra domanda basta che scrivete nei commenti e noi ve la leggiamo tutto. Maestro, vai con la seconda domanda. Io come sempre mi collego con la mia e andiamo avanti come siamo abituati nelle dirette del Calice Nero.
Salutiamo Davide Vettorato, Giacinto e Tony Bevilacqua che ritorna. Quindi scrivete anche su Instagram, su Instagram, su StreamYard, scrivete i vostri commenti, come dice appunto Mardev.
Ovviamente su StreamYard c'erano le notifiche dirette cioè su Facebook e YouTube c'erano le notifiche sul programma, su Instagram dobbiamo leggerle, quindi se volete fare
aperta la pagina. Per quello.
una domanda a volo, apritecela, cioè scrivetecela su Facebook e su YouTube. Vai maestro con la prossima domanda.
Ok, Ares, quanto è complesso in questo globo, in questo mondo così moderno, grazie a delle produzioni a volte ultra pompose, a volte stucchevoli, a volte interessanti. Gli Aeternus come riescono invece a far sì che la loro musica riesca a toccare la parte moderna del nuovo millennio, non la parte moderna musicale, grazie però al tuffo del passato?
Okay, this next question, Aris, is about music production and your way to achieve your own sound. Since for the Maestro one, we got a lot of promos for the channel, for our web scene, which goes very well, produced bands, bombastic productions and stuff like that. But the substance, the art is really minimal. So we got a lot of copy paste and stuff. So his question is about achieving your own result and try to balance the truth and the power of the like old school with the good production of the modern way to produce metal. So about the production, what are your idea to achieve what you said in the past question about the dark mood, the darkness, and your way of pursue it, your art through this extreme music?
Well, to achieve the your goal as
your goal
creator of to create dark music, and that is achieved when you're done making your songs for the new album. Then you have that already. It's all done. Whether or not that takes a couple of years or 4 years or whatever, it doesn't really matter. I take my time, and I've been doing that for the past 2 albums. 3 albums. I don't rush anything at all. But yeah, so when you're done making music and you're done rehearsing, for us, then it's like it's time for studio. As far as sound and production, it's all about. We know what we're doing, and we've been doing it for many, many, many years. I found out how I exactly wanted to have the sound for Aeternus out fully, actually pretty early, and I've always kept to that. So I've never been into exploring a lot into other aspects of messing around with the Aeternus sound. I use a PV Bandit combo amplifier that I run through Marshall head or Mesa Boogie head or whatever. EVH, like we've done in the past 2 albums, and that is the sound. But
no digital sound, basically. So really organic sound in
sense. No digital bullshit. No.
No. Okay.
But yeah, well, we've done that we use plugins. I think a few times for a guitar lead or something like that, which is fine. But yeah, no, we use amps, and I'm going to stick with that sound until the very end. And when you go to studio and you do the production of the album, I mean, you bring your ideas, you got everything planned out, everything is thoroughly done. You don't leave anything open to any other ideas. You don't leave anything open to discussion with anybody or amongst ourselves when it comes to sound, really. Sometimes there will be a little surprise here and there where you might need to work on shit in studio because maybe it doesn't turn out how you thought it would be, but it's nothing really serious. And then it's all about just going to a studio where you know that you have an engineer or like a producer and engineer that knows metal. Not he doesn't have to like know your stuff, but he has to know what he's doing. And we've been lucky all along that we've had producers that knows what they're doing, and then we bring our stuff, our ideas, and everything is very thoroughly planned, and that's how you achieve a good production. And the dark metal and the goal of achieving the powerful, emotional, extreme music that we want is always achieved when we can say, okay, we made another new song. Then we're done, and then it's all that just comes with everything.
Okay, and just to add my own question to the Maestro question, and since I want to link this topic to also your last full length, which is the Philosopher, no? So even if you said, okay, we're doing this from a lot of time, so we know what we can achieve, and we know the mission and all the stuff coming together to the studio. You have something that you want to share about the tracking process of the album, something weird, strange, or some tips that you learn from your last studio experience that you want to share with the other guys in the chat?
There's always something happening and going on when you record an album.
For this reason, I asked you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, sometimes you just realize that you haven't practiced enough and you thought you had something like totally down, and then you end up doing 20 takes. I mean, that's just a very typical thing. But you can never really, I mean, that's the thing. You can prepare, you can practice, and you can tell yourself in the mirror, it's like, yeah, I'm ready. And then you're simply not. Everybody has a bad day. Sometimes, I had a few times where I was just doing take after take, and I couldn't play the shit at all, and I was furious and yelling at my poor guitarist and like, yeah, freaking out, and I made this stuff. This is my own music, and I should be able to play this, and then but that's just how it is, You have bad days and good days. But yeah, I don't know what particularly you're after. If some kind of like a funny story or whatever, there's not really much to it. We worked hard. Every damn time we started just working and recording and everything was just hard work, really. Okay. And a few times we were stumbling and stressing a little bit with a few parts, but you overcome that and then you go on ahead to the next song.
Okay. Since we got a lot of artists here in the program, usually some remarkable stuff happens in the studio. So a part design in a certain way that sound different, so last minute changes, stuff like that. But it's pretty the work environment for the musician. So work and till it's done. So okay, perfect. So thanks, Ares, for this quick answer to this part, more mechanical part. But I hope that you are enjoying the question. We try to not make the same as the others, or try to think a little outside the box. So, okay, after this production answer part, we are going to the translation as always, and we will get into the more artistic side in the next one. So, ok ragazzi, siamo per la traduzione. Come ho detto prima di cliccare sul pulsantino per appunto avvisare i nostri pochi ma in crescita ascoltatori internazionali del Calice, che salutiamo, tra cui anche la fanbase ufficiale dei Cannibal Corpse, che ci scrive sempre, li salutiamo. Grandi ragazzi.
Ciao ragazzi.
E praticamente abbiamo parlato della parte della produzione, guardando sia la parte della produzione artistica che della produzione proprio in studio. Traduco prima l'ultima domanda, che è un po' più veloce. La parte in studio è più meccanica, più da lavoro, provare tante volte le parti, ottenere un suono organico. Ha parlato di comunque un combo con un Marshall, praticamente un suono old school, diciamo, e quindi sostanzialmente provare le parti, arrabbiarsi perché le parti non vengono, cose solite. Diciamo che c'è sempre qualcosa da imparare nella parte dello studio quando si registra, ogni sessione è a sé. per quanto riguarda la produzione, lui cerca comunque di avere una sua attitudine che ha definito organica a livello di suono. Quindi quello che si può bilanciare nella tua domanda, maestro, è l'organicità e la preservazione della performance artistica anche dopo anni. Poi loro hanno plasmato comunque un suono riconoscibile che li ha resi tra i gruppi più importanti della scena, diciamo, estrema. Tanto è vero che hanno comunque il loro pedigree e quindi la loro esperienza, e quindi tutto si basa sull'avere un aspetto personale, quindi non suonare come tutti gli altri. Ovviamente loro hanno utilizzato maggiormente poi la strumentazione analogica, poi però hanno curato dei piccoli suoni, delle piccole lead di chitarra con il computer, ma il tratto che si parlava non è tanto quello di usare il computer o non usarlo, ma di come viene usato, quindi l'utilizzo per il suono che viene ad essere appunto fatto specifico. Cioè, se una band ha bisogno di un certo suono ma vuole suonare organica, non è sbagliato usarlo, ma il fatto è che bisogna anche trovare una personalità propria quando si suona e quando si registra, e loro l'hanno fatto. Specialmente abbiamo parlato accennato con l'ultimo album Philosopher, dove appunto ha parlato proprio di una particolare giornata in studio dove lui si era proprio incazzato come una bestia perché non gli arrivavano le parti. E l'ho detto: tu ti puoi preparare quando vuoi, ma poi è solamente in studio che ti affacci con le vere difficoltà delle cose che appunto scrivi tu in questo caso. Quindi ho fatto un discorso tra l'espressione artistica e l'espressione proprio di lavoro del musicista che va in studio.
Allora, saluto Fenris, Inerumia Official dalla Svizzera, Alex, Suckersface, Caesar. Quindi ragazzi, tanti saluti perché hanno dei nomi veramente quindi hanno dei nomi veramente molto particolari.
There is also a user called Robbie Grander that said, Ares, it's my myth. I grew up with
Ciao Roby.
Fantastic first 4 album. So, Maestro, before your question, let's make mine. Fammi fare un attimo una domanda a me. Are you aware of the influence that you guys had to younger musicians, especially with your early release? What are your opinion about it? Because when we announced this episode on our closed group, a lot of people said, wow, I grew up with them. They inspired me to play. They inspired me to get and grab the instrument. So are you aware about that side too? And what do you think about it?
Yes, I've met many people that have told me that they picked up the guitar or they started a band listening to our music, and as a musician and a guitarist and a composer and a singer, as I am, I think that's absolutely fantastic. It's a huge compliment, and that is and that doesn't even cover like how it feels like when people tell you these things, because I mean that's what if I meet James Hetfield from Metallica, I would be the same. You know, I would like, I have a band, I released 9 albums, and it's because of you. I would tell him that, you know, or Gene or Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons from Kiss. It would be the same thing for me. And I unfortunately haven't met those guys. But I mean, like when people come to me and tell me that they're into music and guitar playing because of what I've done, I think it's an enormous compliment, and I really appreciate that.
Okay, cool. Actually, I was thinking the connection between that and black metal and Kiss. So a lot of guys actually said that Kiss and Metallica were the first one. So I was, it's great. So they are in the Olympus of musician, of course. Maestro, fai la tua domanda in italiano e poi traduco tutto dopo, così ovviamente ti faccio contento.
Allora, Ares, gli Aeternus, in che tipo di limbo possono entrare quando si ha l'aspetto live della band? Nel senso, la parte interiore occulta, quanto riesce ad estrarre ed entrare allo stesso tempo nella strumentazione degli Aeternus?
Okay, this question is taken from other episode that we did in the past, because of some, I don't remember the band, but they say that a lot of bands say that they do, when they play live show, the connection between them and the audience is like making a ritual. So we'd like to ask you, Aris, if you have this kind of perception about exchanging energy with the the audience, and also the feedback that they give to you. And if you can describe these and your opinions about, and also your approach to the live to a live show, to a tour, about also the connection side of the music.
Well, I think a lot of bands, they agree on one thing, and that is like, to play a live show, do concerts is like one of these ultimate things that you do, which is very a unique feeling, a very special feeling. And then of course, yeah, if you go and play in front of a crowd, that gives you a lot of feedback. It certainly makes a huge difference if you play in front of a bunch of people who doesn't move, doesn't make a sound, and are just looking at you. But I think it's also important that you try to just do a show as aggressively and as good as you can, no matter what you see out there in the crowd. But that can be hard when the crowd is like tough or strict and hard to get into motion. But yeah, connection between you and the crowd is important. And I think, if you manage to get that going, then everybody is having an ultimate awesome time. Whatever the concert does for you. I mean, it's a very individual thing, even when it comes to the musicians in the band. But yeah, playing live is super awesome. It's very intense, and it's where you kind of like, as a musician, I feel like I pour out all the hard work and everything I've done and all these emotions, all this dark metal and all this, it just comes out right into the crowd, and their feedback coming back to me is kind of like, if that is strong and if it's like big, I mean, it's like a confirmation of like, okay, this is why you're doing it, this is why I wanted to do this, because that feeling is absolutely impossible to describe, but it's very unique. And that's kind of like when like you are where you want to be, and that's it.
Okay, totally, very, very, very cool answer. Also for a young musician as myself that are approaching this kind of stuff, and all the guys that are watching. So the beauty, I agree, really 100%. The ultimate stage, let's say, of creating music is when you come to live show and you exchange the feeling with the audience. It's very good. Of course, nowadays people can reach your music in 2 clicks, but you still have the feeling and the ultimate power, let's say, when you see a band live. So it's really, really important in the stage. Also because in our genre, live show are a lot important. So also for connection, I met friends, I met people in the crowd. So don't stay at home. So this is my message for the guys that also approach.
My message too.
We stayed enough at home. Okay, thanks, Aris, again. Translation time, because of as probably 10% of the people are outside Italy, but 90% are from Italy. They continually ask, can you please resume and translate? Because of course this episode will stay online right after the end of the live show. So if you want, guys, if you catch us later, don't worry, you can rewatch it anytime. Ok, abbiamo detto brevemente che gli episodi rimangono online, lo ricordiamo sempre, tranne che su Instagram, rimangono su Facebook e su YouTube, quindi se arrivate adesso non vi preoccupate che siamo qua. Allora, abbiamo fatto varie domande, parto da quella del maestro, perché giustamente il maestro c'ha la priorità. Per quanto riguarda la questione più ritualistica per lui, come anche altre band in realtà ci hanno detto in altri episodi, no maestro, è proprio lo scambio di energia con la folla, quindi con le persone che seguono il concerto, che ovviamente varia da paese a paese, da posto a posto, ma è ancora più difficile scambiare questa energia con una folla, con un pubblico che sia tosto e freddo, tra virgolette. Però lui lo chiama l'ultimo stadio dei livelli che una band può raggiungere con i suoi fan, con i suoi seguaci, è proprio il live, perché lì vedi proprio il feedback, dove tutto il lavoro che ci hai messo ripaga e vedi proprio una risposta vera, sincera da parte delle persone, soprattutto nel nostro genere, dove che è fatto per il live, e soprattutto anche quello del networking, tra virgolette, lo dico in inglese per far capire che è una rete che si crea tra le persone che stanno sul palco, quelle fuori dal palco, e anche con quello che è la matrice che c'è dietro questa cosa, ossia quello di spingere le persone a dare e avere. Quindi c'è un dualismo tra chi suona, che dà sensazioni, e chi le riceve nel pubblico, ma che dà e restituisce, quindi è una cosa molto importante per i musicisti stessi. Poi, ritornando al commento del nostro carissimo Robby Grinder, che ci ha scritto su Facebook, lui è molto contento quando ci sono delle persone come lui che hanno preso lo strumento grazie a loro, cioè per loro dice che è il miglior complimento che possano avere in quanto musicisti. Questo è molto bello, che ne so, quando ti dicono che il tuo concerto è stato il loro primo concerto di sempre, oppure quando hanno iniziato a suonare o fatto album grazie all'influenza, e dice che è il bel complimento che possono avere, perché anche ho notato un discorso anche di ricambio generazionale, di linfa nuova che si dà al genere. Lui ha parlato di lui deve ringraziare, che so, i Kiss, i Metallica, James Hetfield, eccetera, quindi sostanzialmente parla anche di questo, e sostanzialmente fa un discorso proprio quasi oltre l'influenza sonora, parla proprio anche di attitudine. Questa è una cosa che mi è piaciuta molto. Tra l'altro, se mi consenti, possiamo leggere la domanda di Desertland. Tra l'altro,
ricordiamo che Robby è il musicista di Aeternus.
Sì. No, dicevo Desertland, che tra l'altro c'ha un bellissimo avatar di Douglas Pierce dei Death in June. Okay, so a question from Desertland from YouTube. Can you let Ares describe where the last album locate with Aeternus sound evolution?
Again?
Desertland is asking, can you let Ares describe where the last album locate within Aeternus sound evolution? So I think that he's asking
Philosopher
about
is located within the evolution of our sound.
Yeah, I think that it's asking about the evolution of sound from the Philosopher, the last album, going backwards, I think. So describing about your own evolution as a band, as a composer, I think.
As far as sound in studio and that kind of thing.
That's more sound more in a conceptual way.
Well, I think when it comes to, if it's about sound and how it sounds like and everything, there's not been a lot of changes over the years. Actually, we did this one album where there is a notable difference in the sound, which is and the 70s Soul Detested, where there is a little more drier sound on pretty much almost both guitars, but particular one guitar, which I thought was extremely interesting. But then again, it was I decided not to go with that on Heathen and Philosopher, and I don't think I would do that ever again. But as far as, if I understood the question correctly, if he's talking about like the evolution of sound through all these 30 years, it's been pretty much the same, and I have not had any special new visions going out of like how I want things to sound like as far as the sound of the band musically, if that is what he was trying to ask.
Okay. I think that you checked the point of the question. Just a little translation time, just to translate the question from Desertland. Maestro, poi ti chiedo se poi puoi tenere, diciamo, botta per un paio di minuti, che devo aprire delle persone fuori, che sto solo a casa, devo aprire, perché sto concentrato, hanno bussato e non hanno risposto, però ragazzi, tutto live, quindi allora parliamo del sound degli Aeternus. Quindi Desertland parla della loro evoluzione di suono. Lui dice che a livello organico fondamentalmente non ci sono delle differenze che vanno a scaturire concettualmente da album in album, più che altro c'è una consapevolezza maggiore nella loro modalità di concettuare il suono, quindi spero che si sia capito fondamentalmente. Quindi tutta una questione di evoluzione come persone, di evoluzione come fondamentalmente musicisti ad approcciarsi alla musica. Questo si può tradurre, diciamo, in maniera molto veloce. Ok, ragazzi, io faccio un attimo questo servizietto. Maestro, se puoi tenere un attimo.
Ok, vai.
Okay, so some little announcement from the maestro, and I will be back ASAP. Vai, maestro.
Ok ragazzi, allora prima di tutto salutiamo i nostri spettatori su Instagram, i Faur, che è la band che abbiamo avuto su appunto il Calice Nero dalle 21:22 ieri, black metal molto molto interessante. Salutiamo Frozen, uno dei membri insieme a Fenris, e appunto Instinct 6671. Allora oggi abbiamo ragazzi una delle band veramente più interessanti del black death metal, Aeternus, che riescono con il loro, la loro creazione artistica, possono donare una sensazione e di varie sensazioni costellate da arte. L'arte molte volte è una parola molto abusata e non viene compresa a 360 gradi. Qui abbiamo appunto Ares, leader appunto di Aeternus, quindi abbiamo questa grande opportunità per ampliare questo discorso che poi verrà ampliato anche in una seconda parte futura, quindi non sarà solamente questa parte che ci può dire e ancorare appunto nel black death metal, ma possiamo espanderla in una seconda parte. Il Calice Nero ormai, se avete notato, sta portando delle band di alto spessore, e oggi abbiamo un nome che appunto è nato nel 1900, se Metal Archive dice la verità in maniera corretta, dal 1994. Quindi ragazzi sono passati veramente da tanti anni, metà anni 90 fino ad arrivare al 2000 appunto ai 23 con Philosopher, appunto Philosopher, il nuovo disco della band norvegese sotto appunto l'Agonia Records, label polacca. Quindi ragazzi, mi raccomando, seguite tutto in descrizione della video interview appunto di Ares degli Aeternus, perché c'è tutto in descrizione, pagine Facebook, tutti i contatti che appunto volete rimanere sintonizzati sulle loro pagine appunto. Quindi ragazzi, continuiamo la video intervista, sei tornato a Margrevanarca, ricordiamo che dalle 22:30 alle 23:30 ci sono anche Nulla Plus dal black metal hardcore punk.
Okay, so we did a good commercial break, let's say, just to remind people about the next episode and also the other stuff that we do. So meanwhile, thanks Ares for waiting patiently about that.
No problem.
You go with the next one, and I'm gonna catch the breath because I did like running. So I need to stay healthy, no? My maestro. Madonna.
Okay. Allora, l'ultimo album che stavo dicendo poc'anzi, 2023 sotto l'Agonia Record, Philosopher, ha una copertina allorquanto particolare. Allora, forse anche in tonalità semplice, nel senso questo disegno bianco e nero, quasi sembra fatto con la matita, quindi un disegno allorquanto naturale, non i classici disegni in 3D, ok? Voglio capire una cosa. Per quale motivo questo disegno è finito all'interno del logo? Può essere una domanda stupida, una domanda che scontatissima,
non penso, però,
però è
sai.
particolare.
So Ares, it's about the last album, as you notice, appearing on the screen, our beloved Encyclopedia Metallum. But it's not about the sound, because we already talked about it. It's about the artwork. So can you explain us the concept about the artwork? And also the maestro noticed the fact that on the representation, on the draw, on the cover, like the name, the logo of Aeternus is gonna merge inside this statue. So graphic wise, it's really cool. So we would like to know if you can explain the meaning, the concept behind it, and also why you choose this kind of style for this particular artwork for your release. And by the way, as we said before, all the links of merchandise and page are in description, so people can, of course, click the link and watch from a better way the logo and the artwork of Aeternus in this case.
Well, yeah, the title Philosopher, we wanted something that just would goes with the title, and then we wanted something different that we haven't done in a very long time, and that was just artwork rather than a photo or whatnot, you know. And we didn't want any Photoshop shit and digital computerized stuff. And so it was decided to have somebody make true art in the old-fashioned way, right? And something that went along with the title was, of course, a philosopher per se that has been. You see it sitting there in the throne, been philosophizing and thinking until the character has eventually died or so. And with the logo behind the actual character in the image is just an idea that came up that we went with, which we thought was really cool. And that's about it, really.
Okay, so the pretty old-fashioned way to make the art. So giving some ideas to the graphic designer and make some sketches. You know?
Yeah, having a talented person actually draw something. You know, I mean, that's it's important not to forget about that. You know.
Yeah, of course. And since the album is called Philosopher, there are some philosophers that you actually pick as inspiration for the representation, because it's more like something like, I don't know, moody, yes, but it reminds me some statues from the, I don't know, I'm saying bullshit probably, but it's something that I feel right now. It's something from the Greece, you know, the philosopher stuff. So the pose, the actual statue, also the column behind. There are some influences in the concept that maybe you want to share in addition to what you already said, just because we love art.
I know what you mean. Yeah, like about the Greek philosopher and how he's sitting in the chair there is that is a coincidence basically. But Philosopher, the title of the album is based on the lyrics and extremely complex and very deep lyrics, and it's all of a lot of philosophy in all these lyrics on this album. So a huge challenge for the author of these lyrics that helped us out, and big challenge for me putting music on these lyrics, because like I told you earlier, I have a lot of music. I make a lot of music without having any lyrics, and then sometimes you get lyrics on music that you already made the music, so you got to fit it all in. But a challenge as a musician and as a composer and everything. I mean, I think that's a lot of good challenges. So the album Philosopher is just completely the title is based on the songs that are deeply into philosophy. In detail, I can't get into that because I mean it's just extremely complex. I don't have those notes with me here. So, but yeah, that's basically the deal when it comes to the lyrics of the album, and then the cover goes with the whole lot of it.
Okay, cool. So, guys, next time check the lyrics out, because you can, of course, go more in depth about music and lyrics together. So, perfect. As always, translation time. And we talked about the artwork, but I don't know what's in the mind of the maestro. But I don't know if we change topic or not. But we will stay with us, guys. If you are not an Italian speaker, stay with us. We will not translate word by word. We try to translate the whole meaning, just an adaptation, so you can stick with us. Ok, praticamente abbiamo parlato dell'artwork, che si rifà sostanzialmente, non a una filosofia in particolare. Dice che hanno dato degli input al loro grafico, che ha prodotto 2 diverse versioni, hanno scelto quella più congeniale. E Philosopher, poi aggiunto io, c'è qualche cosa filosofica in particolare, perché comunque rappresenta un po' le statue greche con le colonne, il pensatore greco, insomma, sembra un po', no? Loro hanno detto che è tutta una coincidenza, perché loro hanno scritto i loro testi in maniera molto particolare, molto profonda, molto personale, e quindi fondamentalmente c'è questa interpretazione singolare dei loro testi. Quindi hanno prima scritto tutto l'album e poi preso la title track e poi costruito l'artwork sopra. Quindi dice che i testi sono difficili da spiegare, perché sono delle testi molto personali, molto indie, molto particolari, in un certo senso molto filosofici, pieni di riferimenti, di allegorie, di metafore. Quindi fondamentalmente questo vuole rappresentare l'immersione totale all'interno di quella che è la situazione oscura, come l'abbiamo definita poc'anzi. E quindi non è che ha un riferimento letterario artistico in particolare, ha dato carta bianca al loro grafico, che ha fatto una grafica molto figa, perché non so perché mi ricorda molto band greghe che vanno dal death al black, cioè c'è un bel impatto sonoro, e anche se c'è il nero sul nero col logo funziona molto bene, perché è evocativo, poi i bordi dorati, cioè quei piccoli dettagli che fanno la differenza, secondo me. Quindi ha parlato di questo senso per quanto riguarda l'artwork. E poi ovviamente ho detto che in base a queste parole, a questi input, la prossima volta che magari ascoltiamo i loro brani potremmo approfondire meglio leggendo le liriche, che comunque sono importanti tanto quanto la musica. Lui stesso parte dalla musica, però con le liriche dà un messaggio in più, e lavora stranamente, per quanto riguarda il genere, dico io, sulla melodia totale del brano.
Concordo. Un certo Mara,
Dico
quello
giusto
che si
una
è occupato.
cosa, dico giusto una cosa per evitare fraintendimenti, che ragazzi, mentre facciamo le dirette ogni tanto mi vedete, ci vedete calati per leggere Instagram e per moderare le chat, quindi lo diciamo in primis non per una questione di mancanza di rispetto verso il nostro ospite, ma comunque moderiamo in tempo reale. So just some clarification, guys, if you see me on the phone or on Instagram, we are self-moderating the chat during the live show, so it's not a matter of disrespect watching the cell phone, because we are trying to avoid blocks and spam and bullshit like that in this modern era, because a lot of people break the balls during the live show. But I want to say that this just for people to say, okay, stop watching the phone. Okay, but we do for make everything safe and let all the people enjoy the live stream afterwards. So nobody wants a blocked video for a shitty comment on YouTube, because of course we would love to spread this video also afterwards. So check out our social media. Vai maestro con la prossima domanda. Ok maestro, with the next one.
Vabbè, facciamo l'ultima domanda, Margrethe,
Allora,
dalla
posso
chat.
fare io
Prima voglio fare i complimenti veramente, perché sto guardando su Instagram i disegni di Mara, dell'artwork, appunto del grafico, e veramente fa un lavoro veramente mostruoso. Veramente complimenti Ares di aver scelto un grafico del genere. Minchia,
So the
veramente
maestro wants to really make you the congratulation and appreciation for both the musical side, but also he searched about the artwork maker. So on Instagram said, "Oh, it's a beautiful choice, because we were talking about earlier the interview, these unique styles that combines this dark mood also in the artwork, because the colors, the details really matter in that way."
Grazie.
And, grazie maestro. Possiamo fare l'ultima domanda?
Sì, sì.
So, okay,
Yes.
the last question I had the privilege to make, because I already know it's the same question that we do every time since the first season. This is the third one, and it was created by the one and only Paul Mazurkiewicz during one of our first episodes, actually. And it's really weird, so Ares, be prepared. You know the logo of our TV show, our podcast show, which is the Calice, no, on the screen. So in early interview, Paul Mazurkiewicz said, guys, what is that logo and the meaning. So we explain in our way, the artistic way of this meaning of the Calice and stuff like that. And he said, what you will put inside of it. So plot twist, we create a question at the end of every episode. It's about identity of the musician. So Ares, if you have to pick one drink to put inside that Calice that represent yourself and your band, which kind of drink we will put inside this Calice to drink and be like 100% immersed in this Aeternus mood? Someone
alcoholic drink.
every whatever you want, basically. Someone said blood, someone said milk, someone said water.
I
Another
would
one
say
said
Amarone, Santa Sofia.
A weird one. Why you choose this? Why you choose
It's the first thing I thought of. Like, you
okay,
being
I know, because someone
Italian,
explained with the
I drink
flavor.
Italiano wine almost only. So that's what I came up with. Yeah.
During this season, we got plenty of explanation because the blah blah blah. But you said, okay, this is the first thing that come to my mind, and I'm enjoyed. So why not? Okay, long live sincerity.
It's a good wine.
Yeah, we know for sure. I'm not drinking.
know.
I'm not a drinker. The maestro is, so the maestro can approve. The
Maestro, he knows. Yeah.
maestro knows. Maestro, comunque, a parte questa parte in opacità, I wish to leave you, Ares, free space at the end of this interview. If you want to add something, you have a white canvas to say whatever you want at the end of this episode. I hope, by the way, that you enjoyed the question so far, and we would like to stay in touch also for the future. So for next release and next news, consider ourselves to make another episode in the future.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not going to be a man of a ton of words to make a closure on this interview. I just want to thank you two guys for the whole interview. And I want to thank the people for watching. And keep supporting these two guys, and keep supporting metal. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us. We are already started to make new music, so we're not going to stop. We're doing what we're doing. There will be live shows we're working on, just trying to get out there to promote and play for as many people as possible. And our arena is, of course, globale. And hopefully,
we hope to catch you in Italy as soon as possible. By the way, we hope that you will be in our country.
Santa Sofia. It will be
Santa Sofia, yes.
So So thanks everybody for everything, and keep supporting metal.
Our pleasure and our honor to host you and to get know in depth about your way to pursue your artistic mission, the band and the sound. And thanks, Ares. A greeting.
Grazie, Ares.
From us, to all the band, and to all the viewers. And guys, please stay on this channel because the Maestro will host another episode right after this one. So thanks for watching from Graziano, the Margrave Anarca, il Maestro, and Ares. Have a good night and keep on supporting. www.calicenero.com. Bye bye.
Ciao Ares.
Dove sta la sigla che non mi ricordo più? Eccola qua.
Allora ragazzi,
ho sbagliato sigla.
No, guarda la sigla. Ragazzi, rimanete sintonizzati 22:30, 23:30 nulla plus, nulla più. Niente, il grande spettacolo continua.
E auguri in ritardo al cattivo maestro.
Grazie. Ok ragazzi, sta succedendo un po' di casino, non so cosa sta succedendo. Comunque ragazzi, il grande spettacolo continua e non si fermerà mai. Il sacro codice non è 000, la morte vi renderà liberi. E ci vediamo direttamente dalle 22:30 alle 23:30.